Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Whisper, and today what I have for you guys is another story video. It's been a little while since I've made one of these videos or any content in general on my YouTube channel, and I apologize for that. I ended up spending a lot of time over Thanksgiving break streaming with my cousin instead of actually making YouTube videos. And him and I did try a couple times to make YouTube videos. I wanted to make a couple YouTube videos with him, but we just didn't end up feeling it. We tried to do some videos, and none of the footage ended up turning out good that we were trying to do. We were trying to make a story video, and we tried to do some Omegle messing around stuff on Omegle, obviously, but it just didn't end up working. I didn't feel like it was good enough to make a video about, and the way we did our commentary for the story video just didn't end up working. So I ended up scrapping those ideas, and him and I just streamed most of the time instead. But I'm gonna try and get back to making normal content again, and I'm gonna start it out with a story video that I somehow forgot to make, because this was actually something kind of funny that happened at the first Smash tournament that I forgot to talk about. I didn't end up making a video about this, and I somehow forgot to manage to talk about this in my locked out video. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover it now. So let's go ahead and just get right into it. So I'll give you guys a quick rundown for those of you who didn't end up seeing this video. Pretty much I went to the first Smash local that I had ever gone to before, and I ended up playing against a couple people. My first matchup was against a Jigglypuff player. I ended up beating them 2-0 because they were kind of new to playing Melee. And then I ended up having to fight a player named Ari, who was a Falco main. Back then I was a Falco main, and I was pretty bad at the game back then. I was still going toe-to-toe with Ari. It was a pretty close set, actually. So we ended up going into the game. I lost game 1, and we go into game 2, and midway through game 2, my remote stops working pretty much. Everything is working fine except for the C-stick. And for those of you who don't know, in competitive Smash, specifically Melee, you use the C-stick for a lot of things like aerials, as well as smash attacks on the ground, uncharged smash attacks so that you just automatically smash attack instead of charging it up. It's really important to playing the game, and I've grown accustomed to using the C-stick a lot for a lot of aerials and such. So I actually asked him, can we pause the game real quick? My C-stick is not working. And he was like, yeah, whatever. And Ari's a pretty laid back guy. He was pretty chill. He kind of gave me a look what the fuck is going on? And I apologized and said that my C-stick wasn't ending up working, right? So I pause the game and I try and unplug it and replug it back in, and it kind of works for a little bit more longer. So we continue the match, and then it just kind of dies on me, just straight up stops working on me entirely, practically. So I was actually invited to the Smash tournament by a friend. I didn't know that it was happening until one of my friends actually sent me a message on Facebook or something like that, and told me that this event was happening, and I was able to get a ride from the host. So my friend was there, and I walk over to him quickly during this tournament match, and I'm like, yo, can I borrow your GameCube remote, because mine just completely stopped working. And he was playing Resident Evil 4 or something like that in the corner. He was mostly a Project M player, and he kind of stopped playing after Project M's community kind of died out. So he gave me his GameCube remote, and I ended up going back over there, and he followed me to watch the match, because there were 5 or 6 people who were surrounding us watching this match, because a lot of people wanted to see Ari play. So I end up playing the game, and my friend behind me is talking and telling me what to do, instead of letting me play the game. He's telling me, oh, go for the down air, short hop nair, and then he's grab him, and I'm just shut the fuck up and let me play the game. So he's telling me what to do, and I turn around and actually say that. I'm just stop, just shut the fuck up, let me play the game. And he keeps doing it, he's still doing it. I guess it's because he thought he should do it because I was borrowing his controller to play. So I ended up taking a stock by hitting a double shine into a down air, which if you guys don't know, it kind of looks really cool. It's really basic, but I ended up taking a stock from that, and my friend just screamed, oh yeah, literally just like that, screams hell yeah afterwards too. And I was just oh my fucking god, I was actually embarrassed. I was please shut the fuck up and let me play the game. And he just keeps doing what he was doing before, telling me what to do and giving me advice, and I'm not even listening to him. I'm just playing the game how I see fit, because I am just ignoring him and blocking him out. And my opponent Ari is clearly getting frustrated at the fact that this guy is sitting here saying all this shit behind me and like trying to coach me, and I'm not listening to it, but it's clearly annoying him. So it comes down to the last stock of the second game, and like, it's both of us have the last stock, and we're sitting here like fighting each other, and I'm like lasering him and trying to like add on chip damage as I'm playing, and like trying to just play the game as best as I can with my friend screaming in my ear. And I ended up killing him with like a caught out like forward smash. I just ended up like forward smashing him and killing him off the side of Yoshi's, because that stage you like die at like relatively low percents from like smash attacks. And my friend like flips, she's like, "Oh my god, Victor, you did it! Good job! Yeah!" And I was just like, oh my god. I legitimately had to stand up and like walk away for a second. I felt like so embarrassed, and everybody's staring at him and staring at me, and I just like, I give everybody this look like, what do you want me to do? What am I supposed to do? I can't stop this guy from doing this. Like, I'm telling him to shut up, and I'm trying not to listen to him. And so I sit back down, and he ends up going with this counter pick and switching back to Falco. And I think he ended up like counter picking Yoshi's again. So like, we went to Yoshi's for my counter pick, and he chose Marth, and then he switched back to Falco, and we both went back to Yoshi's. And my friend continues to do the shit that he was doing before. Like, he's telling me what to do. He's like, oh, he's in shield, you can grab him. Or like, go for a downer where he's not like facing you. And I was just like, still trying to tell him to shut the fuck up. I wanted to pause the game so bad and just like turn around and push him. And so it comes back down to another last stock scenario, and I ended up like losing this match. He ended up like going for a back air or something like that, and I was at a relatively high percent and ended up killing me off the side. And so my friend was like, "Oh, damn, Victor, you were so close." And I was just so embarrassed. I was so like embarrassed that I had to deal with this person, and he was my friend, and that he did this shit to me during like an actual tournament, right? So at the end of the match, you know, I ended up like shaking Ari's hand, and him and I like talked for a little bit. And it wasn't until a lot later that I ended up seeing Ari again, because I didn't end up seeing Ari because he goes to college in a different part of our area, so we don't get to see him a lot. And I ended up getting to see him a couple tournaments ago, and I walked up to him and I was like, "Do you remember the first time I came here?" And we ended up playing in brackets and stuff, and he was like, "Oh yeah." And I was like, "Look, I'm really sorry that ended up happening with my friend, you know, screaming." And he was like, oh, okay, I know. And him and I like briefly conversed about it, and he was just like, "You know, I've been to like a lot of tournaments, and I have not once ever had something like that happen to me before. Like, I've never had somebody like scream like that and do those types of things." And I was like, you know, I felt like really glad that I ended up losing that set, just because I felt horrible that my friend ended up like doing that. And he was like, "Yeah, it's all good." And I was like, I would have been really upset. I probably would have forfeited the set if I ended up winning that set, because it was so close. And he was like, "Yeah, I have no idea what that guy's problem is." And yeah, to this day, I'm actually still friends with this guy. He actually still goes to the tournaments with me sometimes. Him and I hang out at the tournaments, and sometimes we sit and chat, or we play PM together, because I play a little bit of PM. But it was just kind of a funny overall story, and I don't know how I forgot to tell this with my locked out story, because it was so funny, and I don't know how I forgot like to talk about this. It was so stupid and so funny to me, and I'm glad I ended up getting a chance to talk about it. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this story, and my name is Whisper, and I'm out. Peace.